Law Simplified with Justice is anchored by Justice Maduforo. Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. We are well equipped in our litigation and advocacy for the benefit of our clients, corporates, and individuals. Why not visit us at 5 Oakfield House, Oakfield Road, Ilford, London, IG1 1EF. We are just 15 minutes from Liverpool Street Station. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.
Hello, and welcome to Law Simplified with Justice. Today is a very interesting day in this episode of this program, and I have a discussant today to discuss, as usual, the topics I bring to you on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I always tell you on this program that this is not a legal advice program. It is just a vehicle to lead you to come to Tice Madox Solicitors, where you can now get qualified and advice that you can rely on and can run with. That is why you must not and should not act on whatever you hear me speak or my discussant speak on this program. They are not legal advice, but rather the telephone is on the screen for you to call us to book an appointment to come to the office, and the address and direction is on the screen so that it's easier for you to make your way to the office so that we can take time, talk to you, and prepare your case accordingly. Law Simplified with Justice, you know, is the very best program out there for you that engages you, that educates you, that quickens your step to enable you to take action. If it doesn't apply to you, if what you're hearing on the stages doesn't apply to you, you know what to do. Pass the number over to your friend, your colleague, even those who don't reside in this country, those that reside in Nigeria, reside in Ghana, or part of Africa, or part of the world, and you know they need this advice, then give them a call. Send the number to them so they can either come to the office or give us a call on the telephone and we'll take it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Justice Maduforo. I'm a solicitor of England or Supreme Court of England and Wales. I'm a barrister and solicitor of Supreme Court of Nigeria. I'm also a police station accredited and Magistrate Court Duty Solicitor of England and Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, Tice Madox Solicitors, you know, is the very best firm out there for you to represent you in your best interest. You always know this catchphrase I say, in your best interest. That is what Tice Madox Solicitors are for you. I'll be discussing immigration law today. The topic today is immigration law, derivative rights. Immigration law, derivative rights. With me to do justice and to give in a little bit of opinion to this, remember it's not the legal advice, is one of my team in Tice Madox Solicitors, one of the trusted members of Tice Madox Solicitors in the immigration team. To discuss and dissect derivative right with us today is Mr. Muda Lawal. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Justice.
Mr. Lawal, we've been dealing with immigration in our firm, and we've achieved so much tremendous result, positive result for our clients. And this program has been to kickstart the knowledge to come to Tice Madox Solicitors, and so that we can, represent them. No hassle representation. Give them better quality advice, and a good persuasive instruction and good persuasive submission we make to the Home Office. And you've been part of that team. Now, today we're talking about derivative rights.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't understand this. It's a very technical area.
Very, very technical.
Yes, it's a technical area because some people don't know that this is an avenue where they can regularize the state. Give us your hint. What is derivative right?
Yeah, in 2009, there was a judgment, and in 2011, there was a judgment in European Court of Justice, Brussels, where it was decided that the parents or the carers of the primary carers of the EU citizen have to be given right to work and to live in their country. And in 2012, because the law is effective in UK, yes. So the UK amended their EU regulation 2006. They amended in 2012.
Yes, that's correct.
That's in November.
Yeah, that's November. Yeah, it's November.
Just to effect the judgment in European Court of Justice.
What's the name of that judgment again?
His name is called Zambrano.
Zambrano, that's
case,
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it gives you right. So if you have a child who is a British citizen, and or you have an EU child in education in UK, or your parents are EU citizen, and they are not here again, and you are in education here, it gives you the right to live and work in UK. It is not only the carer, even the dependents of the carer.
Dependent of the carer.
For instance, now maybe I'm the parent of the child who is a British citizen.
Yes.
But I have uncle, brothers, sisters, and my wife can also derive right from that child.
That's
and
correct.
That's why, because EU law is more admissive than the UK
That's correct.
immigration rule, which is very, very restrictive.
Absolutely, you're correct. Punching on that, because the reason why we brought this topic to discuss that with you today, because the European laws, binds the United Kingdom, and because it is more vast and very much more fluid and flexible, so it enables people who have that ability and opportunity to apply here to regularize their stay. Mr. Lawal was talking about the Zambrano case. The Zambrano case is a bullet point that changed the course of application under those who apply in this country. Now, most people don't understand that it's irrelevant whether your child is Portuguese or any other nationality apart from the United Kingdom. It also incorporates if your child is a British citizen. So even if your child is a citizen of Portugal or whatever it is, you have that right as well to derive that right in this country.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is very important. But we are going to concentrate on the British citizens, and also more especially, we want to concentrate on the dependents of that British citizens. We will get to that point as we discuss that. Mr. Lawal, the issue which you raise is very essential. Now, what are the types of those who can derive this right for this derivative right? What are the what types of people can derive this right? I think you mentioned the parents. You mentioned the primary carers.
The primary carers of the British child.
British child.
Yeah. If your uncle of the British child and the person who is the primary carer, you are the dependents on that primary carer. You can still derive your right from the child. Yeah. As I said, the EU law is more admissive than UK immigration law.
Yeah, that's correct.
And as we know, the EU law is effective in UK.
That's correct.
You have to ratify it as long as the upper court, which is the European Court of Justice, have said you have to give them the right to work.
That's correct.
They have to, and that's why the law was amended.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That law that was amended made the whole thing change the course of application here. And coming down to primary carer, because most applications people have made, they were unable to come to that technical definition of a primary carer. Yeah. Because he's the primary carer of a British citizens. And the application we made sometime when somebody already applied, and he was refused on that application, derivative right, because he's not just applying it, it's a technical area. So when we dealt with that application, when he came back to us from another firm, another representative, we were unable to tackle the requirement of who constitute a primary carer. Yeah. The primary carer under the regulation has provided those who can come under the primary carer.
Yeah, a primary
Who's the primary carer? Put the light to that.
Yeah, a parent can be a primary carer.
Yes.
The person who the child lives with. Yeah. A guardian can be a primary carer. Somebody who is looking after the child. For instance, now maybe the parents of the child is dead and the child is a British citizen.
Yes.
The family member come up who is not even biological parents of the child can still look after the child.
That's correct.
Grandparents can still look after the child as long as
blood relative, without blood relative, outside blood relatives.
Yeah, outside blood relative. As long as the child you are looking after the child, and there's evidence to prove that you are the one taking the child to school, to playground, to GP appointment. Somebody must be looking after the child, and the person looking after the child is not only him or her that can derive the rights. Yeah. The dependent of that person looking after the child can also derive that.
Yeah. That's another wonderful point.
That's where we used to exploit in Tice Madox anyway.
That's correct. Tice Madox Solicitors take all instructions from you. We expand on that, and we ensure that even not only you that come to speak to us benefits. When we take instruction, we will see that you have lineage of family members who can depend also on the application you are qualified to make. So it's not just you alone qualified to make the application under the derivative rights, but your dependents, those who are dependent on you, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, they can all join. Isn't it wonderful? You don't know that. This is why I told you that Tice Madox Solicitors is the very best firm that you need. All one-stop shop, you get all the advice you need. Representation, advocacy, and litigation. You have it all in us. As we're talking about derivative right today, and Ms. Lowa have said clearly, that those of them who are primary carers, especially, can apply, the dependents apply. Now, dealing with that in respect of the primary carers, that's an issue, a technical line, which we may have to draw in respect to the primary carers and the dependents. Now, a primary carer who shows that he is taking care of this child, we know there are certain ways one can look after a child. And in certain ways one can look after a child. But before I ask you that certain ways, who is a child?
A child is someone at the age of when you're born to when you are under 18 years.
Under 18 years.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So under 18 years, definitely, he's a child.
Years,
so with that, it's a bullet point. Now, moving from that, we now know what a child is under the requirement of the law. Going from that angle to expatiate on how do you substantiate that someone is looking after a child? Because it's easy to say, I look after the child, I give this child money. I know there are so many requirements and thresholds one have to meet in respect to who a child, respect to what you are doing for this child to come under as a primary carer or a carer. What are those things that this person need to do or need to show that he's doing to show that he's looking after this child or caring for this British child?
Yeah, what you need to show to say you're looking after the child, you have to show that you're taking the child to the GP. Yeah, you need to let your GP know this is a child you are taking there. Yeah. You are looking after the child, taking the child to the playing ground, to school, to nursery, and at least there should be a proof of address that the child is residing with you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The child residing with you is another angle. Yeah. And basically to substantiate on what Mr. Lawal said also, in addition to that, to show that you have a day-to-day, interaction with this child, in a day-to-day, overseeing the welfare of this child, day-to-day activity or bringing of this child. And it not only doesn't include finances, but those who don't have day-to-day running with this child, but they provide huge, substantial finances. No, not even huge.
Under derivative, the financial aspect, you can't rely on the financial aspect. We want you to, because the substantial right is what is really matter under Article 20 of
the regulation, yeah.
Saying,
correct.
The treaty rights.
Yeah.
They're saying the substantial right of the EU citizen to have the right to reside in UK.
That's correct.
Yeah, we are giving you this right so that that child will not be deprived of his substantial right.
That's
why
correct.
we're saying you have to live and work in UK.
That's
and
correct.
that's the reason we are giving you the right. So if you are giving money, it's not about issue of
financial.
About that.
No, I see. It's about making sure that the welfare of this child
is intact.
Is intact.
Yeah.
And welfare of the child is not just by way, as you said, just the money alone they give.
No.
But all the aspect, the care,
yeah.
the attention, overseeing the upbringing,
education, day-to-day runnings about the child, how the child is
developmental stages of this child. And most people are living with the child that is not theirs, and in this country, and in a situation whereby the child has come from abroad, who was born here and a British citizen, but has lived outside this country, and then finally came back to this country. The parents, for instance, brought this child to this country. For no reason, the parents are nowhere to be found, and somebody is looking after this child.
That person
as an aunt.
That person have to come to Tice Madox for we to make the application. It's a very technical application, but we have some percentage of success in what we'll be doing in Tice Madox. And that application, that person have the right to reside here because he's the primary carer of the child.
Fantastic.
Irrespective that it's not the
biological parents of the child.
Yeah.
Wow. And because once he's taking look after this child, and that's very important. There are a lot of you out there who are looking after your dead brother's children or dead sister's children or your missing or brother's children, and they are missing. You can't trace them. And even if they were here in the United Kingdom for a while, and then they've gone missing, and on their return back to their country of origin, they're nowhere to be found. And because they've left this child in your care when they left, and this child now yearns for a home, and you have provided that home for this child. And while you're waiting for the parents to surface, or those who have gone missing, or those who have probably abandoned the child in this country, and then have gone back to their country of origin, or nowhere to be found, or dead, or one thing or the other, they're not able to exercise parental responsibility over this child. And you can come forward to us come and talk to us so that we can be able to take instruction from you to ascertain the circumstances leading to the dismissal of the father or the mother or of this child. And then from there, we can see whether it can pertain something positive for you to translate that into a reasonable and quality right for you to reside in this country, work in this country, look after this child, and bring this child up in the normal way. We're talking about derivative rights. Derivative right is a very technical line. It's technical because it's not just an application you make there and go. A lot of people think it's something they can just go to the internet and download. No, it's a fine line area. If you are looking after a child who is a British citizen, who is not even a British citizen, who, for instance, Portuguese, France, Germany, Switzerland, any form of Italy, Spain, if they are, with you and they're living with you, they are children, or he or she is a child, and you are the one taking care of them, you may want to see whether this can translate into something that you can exercise your right to live in this country. Run to Tice Madox Solicitors, and we will take instruction from you and advise you. I've been discussing with Mr. Lawal, and we carried on with where we stopped in that respect. And from your explanation you made, that is very, very important. Now, taking it further, you mentioned also about dependents.
Yeah.
The dependents we talk about here, give us a scenario of a dependent, and which is very much common out there. And people think that, do I fall into as a dependent? Even if you're not a sole carer or primary carer of this British child, but you depend on the person who cares for this child, then you can benefit. Give us some little scenario of where these people can come in.
I've seen a case of a lady, he has a friend which the boyfriend and girlfriend, and the man is a British citizen.
Yes.
So they have a flings together.
Yeah.
Just a one-night stand.
Yeah.
And they have a child together, and the child now become a British citizen.
Okay.
Yeah. But the
driving that right through the father?
The father.
Okay.
Because the father is a British citizen. So
that's correct.
automatically the father has
translate that to the child.
Translate that to the child. But the man is nowhere to be found.
Good.
The woman have to get married to another person.
Right. So the woman has moved to the next stage to now meet another man.
Meet another man. Unfortunately, the man he met hasn't got any leave to remain in the country.
Yeah.
So how are they going to do? Tice Madox can do that for you.
Fantastic.
What we can do is to make sure that the dependent who has no leave at all and the woman who has no leave at all, we can make the application for them as a dependent of the carer of
that child.
British citizen.
Wow.
So that's why this is, even the man, if he has an uncle that they are living together and they still participate in the care of that child.
They can all be joined together.
They can all be joined together.
Fantastic. In fact, as I said to you, it's not a usual application people see out there. It's not usual. And because it's only for those who understand the fine lines of the law and the fine lines of application of the law. Knowing the law is one thing. Application of the law is another thing. Not just like the third one. Applying rightly is the other thing as well. Tice Madox knows the law, applies the law, and applies it correctly, which means that your total package. This derivative right we're talking today, it is not common out there. A lot of people probably will not know how they come under. So even if you do not have any right here whatsoever, and under the domestic law, you don't fall in under the UK domestic law, and you are residing with the woman you just started living with, and this woman you started living with do not have any paper at all, do not have any legal immigration status in this country. But the child whom she had outside of another man, from another man, or outside wedlock, in whatever the circumstance, that child, for one reason or the other, is a British citizen, or it mustn't be a British citizen. It must be another European citizen.
Yeah, it can be. That one will work on that Schenk. There's another
test we can go into there. So, that's fine. Yeah. Good. So, but in that circumstance, with that one as a British citizen, that is what this country have allowed, that British citizen child can now, number one, give to the mother. Number two, give to the mother's boyfriend or partner. Number three, give to her stepfather, you're correct. Or give to the stepfather or partners or husbands, brother or sister, or mother or father.
Under the same household.
Absolutely, once in the same household. Yeah. So you can see the chain there. That is what we do at Tice Madox Solicitors. I'm excited to say this because, as you know, I will bring the very best of immigration topics and discussing this, kickstarting your consciousness, so that you have no reason to say, I am in this country with no legal status. You have no reason whatsoever. Remember, I said that the laws of the land must be obeyed. If you do not obey the laws of the land in respect to regularizing your stay, then I would advise you to check out of this country. Check out. The laws of the land must be obeyed. If you are breaching it, you may come to us to see whether we can mitigate that circumstance. And from asking you questions, taking instruction from you, we're able to know that you have something we can work with. At Tice Madox, we always have something to work with you. Means that from questioning, from instructions we're taking from you, we are pinpointing vital information, which when we expand on it, you will see that it's not a magic, but rather it's a tenacious and consistent and well-prepared thought and research that we do, not just the research in theory, but the practicality of what we've done. We will not translate that into making a tangible application for you one way or the other. Ms. Lawal. Now, what we said in that respect now is for those who are dependents. Yeah. Let's move to those who are co-sharing responsibilities. Yeah. Because dependents are not the same as those who are co-sharing responsibilities.
Yeah. For instance, if the co-sharing is that, sometimes the parents, of course, one person cannot be the parent of a child, either the father or the mother. Yeah. Now the father is also contributing towards the care of the child, but they're not living together. Yeah, as long as they are sharing the responsibility of the child. Maybe if this one is out, another person is coming to look after the child. Yeah. Yeah. So they can still be entitled to derivative right under the regulation.
I see. That's correct. So they don't even need to live together.
They don't live.
So once they show that that person has a complete impact.
Yeah, there may be a culture that say, okay, every weekend he has to be with this person because the child have some relationship with the stepfather. Yeah. So and the stepfather hasn't got leave to remain. Yeah. The mother hasn't got leave to remain. The child is a British citizen. That's correct. So on that respect, there may be a culture that's saying, okay, at the weekend he has to stay with the daddy, with the dad, the stepdad, and Monday to Friday, because the mother take him or her to school, he has to stay with the mom. So for that reason, the father, the stepfather can still have the right under derivative because they co-share. They co-share the child. Because at the weekend, the court order.
Yeah, good, that's fine. So that co-sharing can also come in a very wonderful way, isn't it? Fantastic. So that's a very important information. But the co-sharing as well, can you go further? Other than the relatives, whereby the father and the mother or the partners, for instance, we know that naturally in the family law palace, the father and the mother who gave birth to this child, so that the father is on the birth certificate of this child, has the parental responsibility, okay, under the family law palace and definition, has the parental responsibility. So as a result of that, give or take, as long as he has to seize this child and also impute on this child, whether court order or not, he can be a co-sharing responsibility with the mother when they're not living together. Now, the other way we want to consider whether that's possible, because most of these things are testing the waters. Immigration law is a flexible area. You test the water. There are dictums and decisions of the judges in respect to those areas where we can lift to make an application, even if they don't come in within the known pronouncement of court of competent jurisdictions in relation to co-sharing responsibility. The question now, or rather, what I want to find out now is that in respect to those who are co-sharing, if they are not partners or husband or wife, but someone else who is also sharing responsibility with a woman, for instance, who is neither the father or a partner, can they come under the derivative rights?
Under derivative, if somebody have a leave to remain, or he has a permanent right to remain, he cannot derive anything.
He's exempted from that.
He's exempted. He's an exempted person. Somebody who have indefinite leave to remain. So mostly in this scenario, when a child is a British citizen, the father or the mother, probably one of them will not have leave to remain. And if the mother is co-sharing the responsibility of the child with another person who is not even the biological father of the child, the person have the right to derive derivative right from
right. So even if they're not the child, the father, the mother, but can show, what we need to see that the evidence has to be tangible. Must evidence be tangible, or we can bring in circumstantial evidence to buttress and substantiate the responsibility
of
the child.
Like the letter from the GP will do, or the letter from the college, from the school where, the nursery where the child is going. Sometimes some people take their children to swimming. Your swimming
class swimming teacher can also convert to that.
Also confirm that, oh, this person used to bring the child.
That's correct.
Exactly what the
or most of their extracurricular activities.
Yes.
Like, they go to
after school
clubs and the rest of them,
yes.
and can show that this person comes in to pick it up. You know, some certain areas where parents would tell the club and say, please, I won't be coming, so person will be coming to pick up the child.
Yeah.
Once that club can attest, that's a proof as well.
That's what we just need to prove that it's based on the looking after the child. We're not talking about blood relationship.
Exactly.
It's not about whether you are related to the child or not.
Yeah.
As long as you can show empirical evidence to show you are looking after the child and there's a confirmation to confirm that.
Fantastic.
All is well.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Law Simplified with Justice. I've been discussing with Mr. Lawal, a member of the team in Tice Madox Solicitors. You can see that we are loaded, we are strong, we are equipped when we deal with your immigration matters. You don't need to go anywhere else. When you come with us, when you come to see us, I assure you, you will never go to any other firm. You will never go to any other solicitors or any other representative whatsoever, because you will be giving articulated advice, strong advice, straight from the court, straight from the European Court of Justice, straight from the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. You will know that you have a good case and you can go home and sleep peacefully. You could be sure, rest assured, do not begin to discuss with laymen who will tell you, I've done this and I will succeeded. As long as you do not have a concrete evidence of what the other person did in that respect, who is not a lawyer or who is not, doesn't even know what he's doing, and you want to rely on that, then that will be too bad for you. But as Madox Solicitors, you can run with our advice. You can quote us. You can quote us when you go to any other place. You can quote us on what Tice Madox Solicitors have advised you. We say this because with pride, because we advise you on point. On that, I will take a short break. I will continue my discussion with a member of the team, Mr. Lawal. Stay there. Don't change the dial.
Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law. Tice Madox Solicitors. Try us. We are professional.
Hello, and welcome back to Law Simplified with Justice. I remain Justice Maduforo on Law Simplified with Justice. Tice Madox Solicitors brings the best and advises you accordingly, and therefore take that telephone on the screen and go to our website. You can join us on Twitter, Tice_Madox, and follow us for our cases that will turn up on Twitter. Informations that come from Home Office, other areas of Court of Jurisdictions, we also tweet all that so that you can follow us on Twitter. Today, we discussed derivative right. Next time we come again, we'll also bring you some other beautiful areas of law. Mr. Lawal, anything to say to the public?
As I said, the law is evolving and things are changing. People have to make application. But if you don't try us, you won't get it.
You don't try us. On that note, we don't have the time. You don't try us. Good night.
Tice Madox Solicitors is results-oriented, but with a distinctive approach tailored to our clients' needs in our specialist fields: immigration law, criminal law, employment law, commercial law, family law, and contracts law.